I'm back to recording a vlog in English, and someone asked me today on LinkedIn if now is a good time for her to return to Vietnam to work. And I think it's interesting that in the past year or so, there's been a lot of overseas Vietnamese friends and relatives of mine that are asking me the same question. So I think Vietnam is definitely up and coming, getting more and more attention in the startup world and in many other industries like the retail, F&B, consumer industries are all growing and booming in Vietnam in the past 5 years and probably even more in the coming 5 years. So I would always tell everyone that now is the golden opportunity to come back to Vietnam, either to start your venture or to build your career in management in a local company or in an international company, because you carry with you the international exposure, the skill sets, the experience that the local people here just do not have due to their limitations in language and education and exposure. So the simplest answer to this question is always a yes, but then is it the right thing for you? Because apart from opportunities and career goals, there's also happiness. Will you be happy if you move back home, back to Vietnam? This to me is even more important than asking the question, is there opportunity for me in Vietnam? Because yes, opportunities, there are plenty. There are so many if you actually go in and look and open yourself up for opportunities. But then will you be happy doing what you would do in Vietnam as compared to your life currently in the West or in any other country? That question I cannot answer for you. That question you have to ask yourself. And I think that most importantly, we have to know that wherever we go, we are able to be ourselves, we are able to do what we love, and we are able to be close to the ones we love. No matter how good your job is, how good your business is, if you come home and you don't feel happy or you don't have your loved ones beside you to comfort you, then it will be very miserable. And be it Vietnam or any other country in the world, it can be really miserable if you're alone. It can be really miserable if you're doing what you don't love or if you are working with people you do not enjoy with. So be really careful about making such a big decision. It has to be as much about opportunities in the market as whether Vietnam will be the place where you will be happy. And for me, from my personal experience, I decided to move back to Vietnam in September 2010. So hey, that's exactly 7 years ago. I should have celebrated this anniversary with this vlog instead. My criteria in deciding to move home was that I could be, one, close to my family, my parents, whom I love and miss very much when I was away. Two, that I would be able to work with people that I trust and enjoy working with. And three, that I will be doing the work that I love. So all those three conditions ticked yes, and then it was a very simple decision for me. I just packed my bags and I moved back. After 8 years in Singapore, I moved back to Vietnam with over 200 kilos of luggage, and it took me just about half a year to really settle in. And then 1 year later, I started my own business, which was not really the plan actually. I didn't plan to move back to Vietnam to start up. I mainly just wanted to move back for a change and to contribute my skill set and my experience to the local market, to the businesses here, and most of all, to be close to my family. So I think you should really think about your deep goal in why you want to move back to Vietnam. Your deep why, your why. So if your why is a big purpose, something like you want to better the society, you want to help better the nation, bring positive change to the country that is now growing and developing so fast and is in need of talents, then you will feel very rewarded when you go back, because you'll find yourself contributing so much of what you have and what you know, and seeing how it creates change around you is very rewarding. And then you will be training the future generations of managers, executives who you work with, and then they will be training the future generations. So the change that you bring will not just stop now, it will continue to ripple on downwards many generations after you. So I think that's a very nice, that's a very positive and very meaningful reason to move back to Vietnam. And if you identify with that reason, then yes, you will be happy when you move back here. Because in Vietnam, you can give plenty, and people are willing to learn. People are so hungry for knowledge, so hungry for growth, that as long as you are open and sharing and helping your team, your staff, they will help you succeed. This is what I experienced. I came back with my knowledge, my skill sets. I hired my team. I groomed them. I taught them how to, work in a professional environment, how to hustle. And then in return, they worked hard, but also they really supported me through hard times of entrepreneurship, and they're always there for me. So it is a very different relationship that I have with colleagues in Singapore, because I would say that in Vietnam, people are much more bonded to each other, and yeah, it feels more like family here. And also, if you find that what you're passionate about is really lacking here, for example, you're really passionate about sports, and then you find out that in Vietnam, there are not many players or not many people investing or doing business in sports or, fitness, then it's your big opportunity to go back and set up a business related to that, and bring back the know-how, the knowledge, the connections and network that you have in your country where you were living, and bring it into Vietnam, and then educate the market. um, if you have identified your market, and if you know what you're passionate about, and if you can't wait to start your business in that industry, then going back to Vietnam to start something you're really passionate about is relatively, I would say, easy, because you will define the terms of your business, and then you can hire the young people who are very keen to learn and easy to shape, and then you just kick off your business. Just bring all your savings home, and then that will be your starting capital. I spent all my savings of my work life on my businesses, and I've never looked back since. Um, just a quick mention of what are the promising sectors in Vietnam that you could go into if you are considering moving back. I would say education, always a big market because Vietnam is such a young country, and the availability of good schools, of language centers is always less than the demand. So yeah, education, language centers. Retail, I would say, is growing. It depends on what category of products you're looking at, but in general, retail is growing because shopping centers are setting up really quick in big cities, and those spaces are opportunities for you to sell your goods. Groceries is also big market. You can sell vegetables or you can sell imported ingredients. I don't think that there are enough players in the industry yet. Construction, yes, because there are so many new hotels, new schools, new buildings, new restaurants. The country is constantly under construction right now. So if you're in the construction business, I'm sure there's also opportunity for you, especially if you're an architect. I think that a lot of people here are in search of talented, overseas trained and exposed architects to build beautiful buildings here in Vietnam that local architects may just not have enough exposure to do it. So architecture is another field. And even PR marketing, I mean, there are so many agencies here in Vietnam already, and there are also Western agencies. But if you can bring something special that you have that you previously did in your country, I'm sure you can find your own audience and voice here in Vietnam, because Vietnam consumer market is very keen to accept messages and advertisements and campaigns, especially if it's digital and on social media. So there's always room to do something there. Yep, that's it for today. And hit me up on, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, you know where to message me. I will try to respond as soon as possible, and I love to get those questions in. So, bye.